Hey YouTubers, our old refrigerator was starting to act up and it was over 20 years old, so we ended up getting a new refrigerator. This is the LG LRMDC2306S. It's a 4-door, 23 cubic foot smart counter depth refrigerator with craft ice. We've had this thing a little over a month, and so I want to talk about what I like about it, what we don't like about it, and kind of give you an overview if you're considering this model. Okay, one of the first things I want to talk about, we had a side-by-side refrigerator before. So this is our first refrigerator with drawers for freezer. It's also our first refrigerator with door-and-door storage. And we really like this a lot more than we thought we would. It's very convenient and easy to get to the things you want to get to frequently without having to open the entire refrigerator. See, there's a wall back here that separates out, so you're not letting a lot of cold air out of the refrigerator. This little bin here is very simple to adjust. Just raise it up or push the little release tabs and let it back down if you need to make it higher or lower. It's easy to fit a half-gallon glass carafe in here. You could store a gallon of milk, it'll fit in here, but as you can see, we've got a variety of juices and milks and other drinks in there. Plenty of shelving here. Like I say, I already talked about the easy lift bin. Lots of storage up here. It's well lit. The light's on the inside of the refrigerator, but enough light comes out that you can see what you're looking for. There's a door chime that if you don't close the door soon enough, if you're loading groceries or maybe you walk away and you don't close it all the way, it'll beep and remind you. So I like that too. It's very spacious inside the main refrigerator section. Your ice maker is actually built into this door. You pull this lever and there's your ice maker and ice bin. So it comes straight from here down into the door. It really takes very little space this way. You've got some more storage here. Your water filter is back behind this panel. It has also a fresh air filter, which is back here. And it does have reminders on when to change both of those. Lots of space in here. I do like this shelf here. You can see that tall items can be a little difficult to fit. And so this shelf here can be extended out fully or pushed back to make room for tall items. That's one of our few criticisms of this refrigerator, is there's not a lot of space for tall items. Now you can remove, there's the chime, you hear that now. You can remove these 4 shelves to make room for tall items, but you can't adjust them much. They're pretty much the only position you can have 4 shelves installed in. So that's a little bit of a negative against it. There's also not a dedicated meat section within the refrigerator section. You have 2 bins here that can be designated either fruit or vegetable depending on the humidity level, but there's no meat section in here, and that would have been nice. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about are the controls here and the water and ice dispenser. Now if you touch one of the buttons, the controls light up and you have your smart grid. You connect your phone to Wi-Fi. Here's your freezer temperature, here's your refrigerator temperature, and you can lock out the controls here. The default setting, I believe, was about 0 degrees on the freezer section, and I want to say 36 or so, 34, 36, somewhere in there on the refrigerator section. We found that wasn't quite cold enough, so we turned that down just a little bit. Another nice feature is you've got a measured fill. You can put 4 ounces, 8 ounces, 16 ounces, or 32 ounces worth of water just by touching that button, and it measures it itself, and it's actually very accurate. One of the things we like about this one versus our old unit was there's plenty of room to get a carafe in here and fill a carafe with water if you want to. That was something our other refrigerator had, a very short section here, and that was difficult to do. This machine produces regular ice in the door up here that I already showed you, and it also produces craft ice down in the freezer section. The cubes are a little on the small side. Now the refrigerator we had before made those half round kind of crescent shaped ice cubes, and they were very difficult to put into a water bottle or something like that, whereas these are very easy to put into a water bottle. They do melt a little faster, but it produces plenty of ice, so we like that. It also produces crushed ice. One thing I like about the crushed ice, it's crushed much finer than our previous refrigerator, so we really do enjoy that as well. And eventually it will give you a reminder in here when it's time to change your air filter or your water filter. Now the three ice types this machine produces are crushed, cubed, and craft. These two are available through the door, and these you get out of the freezer section. The craft ice is primarily for mixed drinks, but we find that we like it in our iced tea because it doesn't melt as fast and doesn't dilute the tea as much. So we thought this was sort of a novelty when we bought the refrigerator and didn't think we'd use it that much, but in fact we use it quite a lot and really enjoy it. Now the craft ice has two settings. It takes longer to make cubes this big and to make them clear like this, and so your choices are 6 cubes a day that look like this, or 3 cubes a day that are much more clear and melt even slower. We've got it set to the 6 cubes a day because, like I said, we use this for most of our beverages. I'd say we use as much of the craft ice as we do the standard ice. Now, our previous refrigerator was a side-by-side, so about maybe a third of the refrigerator was freezer section, and a lot of that was given to the ice maker. And the other 2/3 was refrigerator section. And things like frozen pizzas would not fit very well in either section. So we're excited to have a full-width refrigerator and 2 full-width freezer drawers. Now this top drawer actually can be converted to different temperatures. This is what they call their full convert drawer. It can run anywhere from 41 degrees down to whatever you set your freezer section to. The control for that is inside the door here. Let me show you that control. Here is the full convert drawer settings. You see you've got chilled wine, deli and snacks, which is what we have now since we're putting our deli meat in there, cold drinks, meat, seafood, or freezer. And so you just push this button to toggle through your different options. Now lastly, we've got the large freezer section at the bottom. And you can see this is quite deep and quite large. There's a drawer here in the top that can be moved back and forth. And you also see this is where your craft ice comes out. There's a second ice maker up here. And it will produce craft ice until this fills up, and then it will shut off. We really like that a lot more than we thought we would. If you wish to, you can disable that ice maker and take this tray out and use this full section here for freezer. But I think once you try the craft ice, you'll really enjoy it. I also want to point out that there's a dent in this door. That's an ongoing issue we're trying to resolve with Costco and LG. I'll talk more about that later. But I want to share a few more thoughts on the refrigerator first. Okay, so we really like this LG refrigerator. You'll notice the cabinet is very close to the top of the refrigerator. Now, LG recommends a 1-inch gap here. But what I did instead was I put a 2.5-inch gap in the back of the cabinet, and so the hot air from the refrigerator is going up inside the cabinet and out another 2.5-inch slot in the top of the cabinet. I made a separate video on that. Rather than modify the cabinet face to accommodate the requirements of the refrigerator for ventilation, I modified the back of the cabinet and gave it over 250% more ventilation than a 1-inch gap here would have done. And it seems to be working very well. So check out my other video on that. Now, we really like our LG washer and dryer, and we like the app that comes on that. And so when we needed a refrigerator, I looked at a major consumer magazine that I won't mention by name, and their top 4 refrigerators in this class were all LG units. And so since they like the LG units and we like our experience thus far with the washer and dryer, we decided to go ahead and buy an LG. The app duplicates all of these settings here and adds a few more settings that can be adjusted. It also alerts you to the current refrigerator status if there's any issues that you need to check out. It has a feature called Smart Care Plus, which analyzes the area surrounding the appliance and your usage patterns to optimize refrigerator functions. Also, the manual for the refrigerator, as well as other LG products, is available inside the app. And so, I wouldn't buy an appliance solely for the app, but having a nice app that works with the appliance is definitely a plus. Now, that same major consumer magazine gave this unit a rating of 75, with 83 being the highest score awarded and 43 being the lowest. What they said about it is it has excellent thermostat control, excellent temperature uniformity, very good noise performance, and the digital controls on the front door they really liked. The things that they didn't rate it so well on, they said it's only fair for energy efficiency, it's fair for the crisper performance, and it's fair for the ice making performance. So far, we've not had any of our food freeze or not be cold enough, which was an issue we were having with our old unit. So we're not experiencing any of the downsides that they talked about. The ice making performance, it's very sensitive to the settings for temperature on the freezer section. When we had it at the default setting of 0, it took a very long time to make ice. When we bumped that freezer section temperature down to 3 degrees, it produces more ice than we use now. So I do recommend changing that setting. Now, I said I was going to discuss this dent on the door. When the delivery folks from Costco came in, one of them spoke English very well, the other one not so much. And they talk amongst themselves, put the unit in. They seemed to be in a big hurry. Installed it. Guy took a picture of it, says adios. He's out the door. There's a lot of plastic covering the unit when it's delivered, inside and outside. And be aware there's a piece of plastic on the inside on that stainless steel back. And I didn't see it until I'd put all the shelves in and realized I had to take everything out and pull that plastic out. So make sure you get all the plastic off of here, including there's a vent right here for the refrigerator section, and it's covered in plastic. So be very, very careful that you remove all of the plastic. There's lots of it in here than shipping. But anyhow, we peeled the plastic off and realized there's a dent down here. I contacted Costco. Costco said they would contact LG. It was some time before LG finally found a service person in the area and scheduled an appointment, and he came out and looked at it and said, yep, you've got a dent in the door. I can't fix that. I'll tell LG you need a new door. LG then contacted me and asked, was I sure that I'd removed all the plastic and it wasn't a smudge on the door? And I explained to them, no, it's an actual dent in the door, just like their service person confirmed. And so that's our status right now. It's been several weeks since I've heard from LG. Presumably, a door is on the way to the repair person who will come out and install it. I'm going to need to check up on that since I haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks. Check the comments down below the video. I'll update as we move forward on this. Except for the small dent in the door, which right now LG and Costco are kind of going back and forth on who's going to take care of that. We are really pleased and we really have enjoyed this refrigerator and we're happy with our purchase. And so I hope you find this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you did. Thanks for watching.